Welcome to another marvelous episode of the College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football, and with me, as always, is my co-pilot Jalen Wilson. After 229 long days, college football is back. We got some blockbuster matchups to dive into today. Heading into this week action, we're going to talk about that Clemson and Georgia game. I think that's going to be a better game than many people anticipate. Miami facing off against Florida, LSU squaring up against USC, and then Boston College headed to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. The first matchup we're going to talk about, as you guys can see on the screen already, we're going to talk about this Clemson Georgia game, a game between two giants. I feel like in the field of college football, one is a team that a lot of people starting to lose a lot of hope in, lose a lot of faith in, and the other, a lot of people, like you seen it on College Game Day last week, a lot of people was looking at this Georgia team as the class of the SEC. It was weird seeing Nick Saban on College Game Day because he's such an intense guy. Yeah. And to see him kind of be lax and say, well, until somebody can prove that they can beat Georgia, my pick is Georgia. And I think a couple people, maybe Kirk Herbstreit went with Oregon. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination, I believe that Clemson can even win the ACC, nor am I saying they can win the ACC, by the way, nor am I saying, oh, they're going to have a deep run in the college football playoff or they're going to win a national championship. But what I am saying is, I think it's been two times in the last decade and a half I've seen Clemson get their butt kicked. One was January 1st, 2021, when Ohio State stomped them out in the college football playoff. The other one is when Notre Dame, and they got a lot of special teams help beat them. And what year was that, Jalen? Was that 2022?
You said 2022. Yeah. We were talking. I don't remember that game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was in 2022. So when you think about that, and you think about the last time these two teams played.
Who was the last time? When was the last time they got whooped before? Like, I want to think of when last time they got whooped before that. Like,
right?
Was
other than the Ohio State?
It might have been Alabama, 2017 Kelly Bryant, 2018 or 2020. The game might have been 2017 because it might have been December 31st.
Right.
But yeah, it was that year Georgia and Alabama played national championship the first time, where Georgia had like DeAndre Baker and Riley Ridley and all them and Mika Levi Walls and that might because I remember they got whooped that game. I also remember them getting whooped. Or did they do the whooping? No, they whooped Ohio State like the year before.
Yeah. So like when you think about his teams and he's had the entire offseason to prepare for this Georgia team, I think his team is going to be ready. So let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about one, the job that Kirby Smart has done in his time at Athens. I think now many people will probably say that he's the best coach in all of college football.
Yeah, I feel like it's a consensus by most people.
Yeah, by most people. You have people that are of the minds of you and I that be like, give Dan Lanning a couple years. You know, we believe that Dan Lanning.
Maybe give Dan Lanning this year.
Yeah. Maybe
I believe if you win the championship, people going to start, the media going to be like, Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning.
Right.
Then it's going to be like somewhere near the middle. It's like
for sure
50-50, but it's like 48, 52. And it's, it's going to be, people going to start changing. And then one has a bad season next year, and it's like, oh, this coach is overrated. He is no longer the best coach in college football. Blah, blah, blah.
I feel like college football, unless you follow it 24/7, 365, unless you avoid that 9-letter word, for very much so, it's probably more of a league of now.
What 9-letter word?
Offseason. Yeah. You made me say it, bro. But it's a league of now. Don't you feel like college football is more of a league of now than any other sport? Like it's like think about the Alabama panic after the Texas loss. Like we seen how bad the USF.
I made a video about how Alabama Dynasty is no longer.
Yeah. Just think about how crazy some of this talk is.
I was view hunting also, but I was also being serious when I made the video.
I think Barrett Carter. Shout out to my guy SC. I think Barrett Carter shows off for Clemson, but Georgia wins by 14 or more. SC, I honestly don't see it. I just don't see it. No. Yeah.
Well, would it depend on how they lose? Like if Georgia,
It'll depend. It'll depend on how
I
they
need water
lose.
switcher just run the
Right.
ball down their
Right.
throats all game.
I mean, one thing we have to talk about is what did Garrett Riley learn from his last time facing this team? Because the last time he's seen this team.
But does it matter if Dabo Swinney is holding him captive?
Where did that narrative come from? Because there's some takes that you and Nino like y'all both have the same.
I think it came from just watching Clemson's offense and watching how Garrett Riley did at TCU, and then coming over to Clemson and watching Clemson's offense kind of be the same from the previous regime.
And with Brandon Streeter.
Yes, and it's like, okay, it isn't like this huge, like Garrett Riley's supposed to be this huge hire, and it didn't really look like much. The offense looked better, but it was like it wasn't like night and day better. I don't think, and I think some of that's because of Dabo. Maybe some of that is not Dabo holding his hand. Maybe some of that is Dabo's recruiting, but I think some of it is on Dabo, and I don't think some Garrett Riley won't matter.
I agree. Some of it is on Dabo, his inability to adapt. Of course, some of it is on Dabo. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I just feel like that while everybody's ready, like you know how many people are ready to just say like they just want to kick Dabo like while he's down. Like I feel like the masses just want to kick him while he's down. PPR show asks us, so do you think Nate Frazier is going to see any playing time during the season? I think Georgia got a couple non-con games that they should steamroll some opponents. They should. Branson Robinson isn't 100%.
I saw somebody say he might get some snaps. Branson
Robinson may get some snaps. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty
although his
cool
injury is kind of hard to come back from. The patella tendon is the thing that bends your knee.
Right. So that's pretty interesting. So we talked a lot about I think both teams. So Jalen, let's talk to me about some of the key players on both sides.
K. Klubnik, I talked about him. I asked a question. I was like, is a 5 to 6 touchdown to interception ratio good on the road? And
that's a standout stat, bro.
Yeah, I tried not to because you guessed K. Klubnik. I was like, well, yes, K. Klubnik. I tried not to take the quarterback. Yeah, K. Klubnik on the road. I read it. Said he had a 5 to 6 touchdown to interception ratio on the road. This game is not at home. This game is on the road. This is
it's technically a neutral
70% home game for Georgia.
Yeah, technically a neutral site, but it's in Atlanta, so it's a Georgia game for sure.
Yeah. So that'd be K. Klubnik is definitely going to be somebody to watch, especially in this game, hearing that stat. Then you have guys like Brian Westco, freshman receiver. He not only will be key in this game, but I think he will be key in the whole season for Clemson. Like he's gonna have to make some big plays. Then you got the leading receiver Tyler Brown had 531 yards. I think I'm right on the dot. 4 touchdowns for sure. And he was a freshman last season. Now he's going into a sophomore season. How well will he develop? How well will he play in this game? Will be a deciding factor for this team.
For sure.
Sheldon Lewis, freshman DB from last season, freshman cornerback for Clemson. He will be a key player to watch for Clemson because they had some players leaving that portal. They had a player leave for the draft. And I think he's going to be that number one cornerback, and he's really going to stick out like a sore thumb this season. Georgia. Carson Beck, of course. Trevor Etienne. I won't say Travis. Trevor Etienne makes his debut over from Florida, star running back. Then you got Oscar Delp, tight end, replacing Brock Bowers. How will he look? We saw him last season because Brock Bowers had like 2 games last season? 1 game? Did Brock Bowers have to sit like a game or 2?
I can't. Yeah, it was via injury. I can't believe if it was 1.5 or 2.
Yeah. How will he look? because we all know Georgia like to use the tight ends. We all know how versatile Brock Bowers was. We all know how dangerous Brock Bowers was. We all know how good Brock Bowers was. And I don't think Oscar dealt with Brock Bowers, so it'll be interesting to see how he looks. Then you got like guys like Smile London. You got guys like Malachi Starks. They're going to be returning on defense. I believe they're returning like a good amount of their linebackers from last season. Like they what 5 starters left. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, those are like some key players to watch for. Honestly, I'll say, not a key player, but I would say watch for Garrett Riley. Watch what that offense do. Watch for the Clemson receivers. Watch for Clemson's defense. Like this could be a telling game for Clemson's future this season.
For sure.
Like if their wide receivers look like they're struggling, it could be a problem all season. So yeah, those are some key players, and I mean my thoughts on these two teams. I love Georgia. I like Clemson. I'm not high on Clemson receivers. They lost 4 all ACC players from last year on defense, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 4 or 5. But they're returning some really good players.
Yeah,
Eric Carter, for example. So I like Clemson. Do I love them? No. Do we get to the predictions?
Yeah, Clemson, 13.5 dogs. Do you feel like that spread is just right? How do you feeling on the spread, and how you feeling about the overall game? Who's going to win?
I feel like Clemson should be 10.5 dogs.
Okay,
would be a better spread.
Okay.
Who I think will win? Georgia. Yeah, I don't know about how much. We had this whole they don't really get whooped like that. But I'm trying to think. Because I think Carson Beck is a better quarterback than Stetson Bennett. K. Clemson is a better quarterback than DJ. I'm just trying to go off like last time they played. Of course, that Georgia defense back in 2021 was better.
For sure.
At least from what we know. Because who knows how this defensive unit will play. But I don't think they'll get whooped. It wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think they will.
Alrighty, but you do got Clemson on the spread. You do have Georgia winning.
Yeah.
Or you're unsure.
Yeah, I'm unsure about the spread, but I got Georgia winning for sure.
I think Dabo Swinney is going to have a y'all must have forgot moment, bro. Like I've been teetering on this for a while. I would say last year, and so far this year, I've been trying to stay away from upsets, but something in my heart is telling me like,
Arian Smith is a key player.
Yeah, he can take the top off the defense, speedster, but something just tells me that Clemson's gonna be in this game late, and the ball is just gonna kind of bounce their way. If they win, it won't be more about 3 or 4 points, maybe a touchdown, but I think they just find a way to gut it out and win. And I think people will start to give Dabo Swinney a little bit more flowers, but they'll find a way to lose a game they probably shouldn't lose little bit later on that season.
Didn't Clemson have a kicker problem last year?
They did. They actually had to call someone who had, I think.
Yeah, it was against like Florida State.
Where he had it was like a graduate. A guy who I think he was about to start working or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that story.
And then somebody had an idea. Was it Dabo's son? I had the idea. Hey, call him up. Yeah, they did have a kicker problem.
But I think it was just like Florida State or something. It was a close game.
It was against Florida State, and a lot of people forget how close that game was. And Clemson certainly had
something like that.
Clemson certainly had opportunities to win that game. They had a close game against Miami last year. It was another team that they lost by 7 points to last year as well. But I don't know. I think Dabo Swinney just gets one of these games that he's just been preparing for all season, and he just wants to show everybody like, hey, my way is not the way that you all prefer. It's not the what they say in Madden and NCAA. It's not the meta. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, hey,
okay, yeah.
that Dabo Swinney is off meta, bro. Like, it's not the most effective tactic available. Like, he's off meta, bro. And don't let him win this game and they start rolling and putting together some wins. Because I guarantee them watching Georgia Tech beat Florida State last year last week. I'm sorry, probably gave them a little ammunition as well. Anything else, Clemson, Georgia?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so.
let's move on to a game. And Jalen, let's go off script for a while.
The Battle of Florida.
Yeah, let's go off script for a while. Alrighty, so Jalen and I, like Jalen has these sayings, right? I have sayings. I have beliefs in teams, and there's teams that I like. Jalen has teams that he like, but if your coach that Jalen does not like, oh, you got to earn your keep. If you're a defensive coordinator that was a defensive coordinator for Alabama and you didn't produce, he doesn't like you. Okay, if you're a head coach that was a head coach for a team out west that had some talent and didn't produce, he don't like you. Jalen and I currently have a bet that's standing that if Miami wins 8 games this year, Jalen has to buy some Miami gear. And what else you got to do?
Was that not all?
Yeah, I think that was all. Same thing for Ole Miss. We have a bet going that if Ole Miss wins 9 or more games this year, he has to do the same thing.
Oh, he's still doing that bet?
The
more I like the more I look at that score, I'm like, I don't like that bet.
we can cancel that bet. I'm willing to take it to 10 though.
I'm for sure keeping this bet.
You keeping this bet for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sure.
So,
and I would say this: if Illinois doesn't go bowling, I'll buy you anything of a gear you want for like the bill or something.
All right, same thing. Vice versa. If they go bowling.
No. Bowling is too easy. 7 games.
7 games? Okay.
7 regular season games.
That's cool. So let's talk Miami. Let's talk Florida. Billy Napier, toughest schedule I think I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years of college football. Arkansas's 2022 schedule, I think, is comparable. Or was that 20? Yeah, 2022 schedule is comparable. South Carolina's schedule from last year is comparable, but they have a murderous schedule, right? So we had a talk. It's probably episode 15, maybe 16, that I legitimately say, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. If Florida goes 7-5, bro, Dabo Swinney should be in talks for Coach of the Year. Do you agree or disagree, bro?
Oh, you mean Mario Cristobal? Wait, you mean Billy Napier?
No. Billy Napier.
Yeah, you said Dabo Swinney, I think.
No, did I?
Possibly. Yeah, I think you said Dabo
Swinney. You said Mario Cristobal. I'm confused now. Do you think if Billy Napier goes 7-5 with that schedule that they have, he should be in the talks or the running for Coach of the Year?
I think he should be in the talks. He won't win it simply because Florida isn't Florida. They aren't 08 Florida. They aren't 09 or 07 Florida.
And Florida's kind of brutal with coaches. Like, we've seen coaches, do decently, and because it's not Urban Meyer or it's not the old ball coach in his prime, they had serious issues. But Jalen, we talk candidly a little bit. Let's talk Mario Cristobal. If Miami don't win 7 games this year, and let's say you're the AD down in Coral Gables, Cristobal has done a phenomenal job with recruiting. He's done a phenomenal job adding pieces via the portal.
He always has.
He's a Miami man. Do you trust the process and do you keep him? Now you have to take your own biases out of it. What do you do?
I say, listen, you got 1 more year.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. You got 1 more year. I can guarantee you 1 more year.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's another 7, if it's 7 wins, if it's 6 wins, you gone, man. You gone. So, you got to guarantee 1 more year.
Alrighty. So whether people like it or not, there are things that we believe about college football. There are if you want to call them prejudices or like stereotypes, there's just things that we all believe about college football. When you look at Mario Cristobal, and if we were able to do like a blind resume and we just purely looked at Miami roster, those Miami roster, you can't see the jerseys, you can't see the coaching staff. Is this one of the best constructed rosters in the conference?
It is.
It is. Okay. But I get you have plenty to pull from. Like the Georgia Tech game from last year was just that's brutal. That's brutal.
Cristobal always loses some games. Mm-hmm. He does. He did it at Oregon. That year, Kayvon Thibodeau's last season. Mm-hmm. I remember they almost lost to Cal, but I remember they lost to Stanford, and they really kind of probably.
But then he does something crazy, like marches into Columbus, and he was able to get a win in Columbus. Yep. Which is crazy. So this is kind of, it's like good crystal ball, bad crystal ball. You feel me?
Yeah, because you got Arizona State the year before that, where Jaden Daniels was a freshman. He tossed the ball to Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk
was a receiver. Yeah, like it's some blunders there. You got like last year what you said against Georgia Tech.
He did it one time before too. At Oregon, right? Steve's had made you aware that one time he had a late game. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was a late game blunder.
I think it might have been against Stanford also.
What was it really?
I think it might have been against Stanford. Yeah, it was a late game blunder where like they had to run the ball against Georgia Tech. They didn't have to. They had to run the ball in this one, but they fumbled and the team marched down and it scored a touchdown and they won. Right. They beat Oregon.
Right.
It's always a loss or two, like against like was at Oregon in last year. You got the Georgia Tech loss. Like it's just something where it's like, man, I can't fully trust Cristobal. Like I just can't. And it's the fact that I feel like he's an okay, sometimes good coach, and I feel like he's a more recruiter than coach. Or he's a better recruiter. He's a way better recruiter than he is a coach.
All righty. So let's talk. Let's continue to talk candidly. I love our candid conversations. I feel like the audience is getting the conversations that we have in the green room pre-show and then post-show when we just lay back, chilling and talking. I think I have a take. I think that this is a year that we're going to get that Kenny Pickett or Cam Newton type jump where there's a guy everybody talking about, and Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers seem to be the guy, but I think Carson Beck is the guy that everybody's kind of talking about.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers kind of died down.
Yeah. Okay, so the hype died down, and I know some people talking about Shedeur Sanders. Is Cam Ward a guy that, of course, he already has the pedigree? We've seen what he's done at the FCS rank.
I'm gonna answer your question now. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Is he a guy that can just make that type of jump?
Because the reason why they are talking about him because he's at Washington State. He didn't get a big enough media push
for sure
after he went back to college and went to Miami. He didn't get the big enough media push because the media really ain't aware of him. At least the mainstream media, they aren't really aware of him. The people that actually watch college football are but the people that vote for preseason Heisman and all that that are part of the mainstream media that vote aren't. So it just when they be like, oh man, don't be surprised if we see November Cam Ward Heisman winner could be number one pick.
Right.
Like that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it just feels like this is not going to be like a chalk.
He's also more entertaining than Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers, and that will add to some of that factor.
Right. Because I just feel like this just won't be a chalk year where you look preseason, well, we all knew Caleb Williams would be the first pick, of the draft coming into this year. I don't think this would be a year. I think there's also a guy, and y'all can call me biased. Y'all can call me a homer.
Is it Kyron Jones?
Dude, not enough people know about this kid. Not enough people know about
Virginia Tech.
That Virginia Tech, their cornerbacks, their wide receivers, that running back.
I watched some college game day. I don't know. I was watching ESPN last Friday, and somebody mentioned actually Virginia Tech winning the ACC. I was like, oh, really? That's surprising.
Really? Yeah. Who said that, bro?
I don't know who it was. It might have been Desmond Howard. No. I
just feel like it just be like coincidences, bro.
Somebody mentioned Georgia Tech like we're in the ACC.
I see. Thank you.
What did
Not
he say?
enough people talk about Ali Jennings, bro. But
Yeah,
this
Ali
kid
Jennings
did at
good. At Old
ODU.
Dominion he was
Yeah,
good.
he was a dog, bro. Perennial all conference while at ODU. He just got hurt last year. So, more people talk about Daquan Felton. And of course, Jalen Lane can take the top off the defense. But I'm telling you, bro, Virginia Tech, and I know we're not even supposed to be talking about Virginia Tech, but I just believe this is a year that we're gonna see a guy that just make that type of like that,
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett jump. So let's talk more about this game. So who are the players that you think the audience should be watching in this game for the Hurricanes?
Well, of course, we got Cam Ward.
Mhm.
I mean, we said it like a lot. Heisman candidate,
Mhm.
arguably could be the best player
For sure.
in the nation.
Mhm.
Best quarterback in the nation. So, like, I feel like when it comes to him, you have to watch him. Then you have like I want to say this because we ain't talking about matchups, but this will be a deciding factor who wins. Who performed better between Graham Mertz and Cam Ward? I'm already on quarterbacks. Graham Mertz is a key player to watch Florida. I mean, he was crazy good, not crazy good. He was good last year. He was better than what he was.
No, crazy good is the right terms. If you saw that kid play in Madison, and then you saw the difference in Gainesville,
Yeah,
I know
a lot
of people don't like the A dot. They don't like that he was a check down Charlie. But we saw some erratic throws while he was in Madison, bro. Like, you remember that opening game? I always go back to this Penn State game, and some players were able to get behind that Penn State defense, and the throws was just so erratic, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel Graham Mertz. I feel like his praise isn't loud enough. And we know why.
Yeah, but
DJ Lagway is behind him, so
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Damari Brown, cornerback. Who else I have on my list? Oh yeah, Chris Johnson Jr., running back. Those are some key players for Miami. I've is really going to be key. Don't sleep on Nathan Joseph either. He's
that's a take.
He's going to be in that slot. He can do some damage against this this Florida defense. Did my stuff freeze or something?
Yeah, you good. Keep going. We're good.
Okay. I was just making sure. Yeah. So keep an eye on Nathan Joseph. He could do some damage against Florida. I already said Graham Mertz. He will be the X factor. He's gonna be the X
Shout out
factor.
to Desi Kent. He said LSU in the house. We're gonna talk LSU USC a little bit later, brother.
LSU in the house. LSU. I'm gonna be honest. Because I'm not crazy. I don't know, but yeah, Graham Mertz would definitely be the X factor. He's a key player for them. If him and Cam Ward are in a close battle, I think Florida could seriously win this game. So yeah, Graham Mertz is. Can we see him possibly drafted by the end of the season?
Can we?
Yeah, can we?
I mean, with the murderer schedule, you look at his stats last year. Yeah, I can certainly see him be like a day 3 or UDF. It just depends on the type of season he has. But I don't know. I don't think this class is severely deep. I know there are some people who are really high, like the LSU fan was just talking about. A lot of people that I know are high on Garrett Nussmeier. Jury's still out on him for me, personally. Like I said, I'm a eye test type of guy, so I'm hearing the name, I'm writing the name down, but I gotta see it come to fruition, especially when Mike Denbrock is now in South Bend.
Yeah, I can't even leave out Jason Marshall. Jason Marshall, cornerback.
Yeah, he's a dog. Don't they always just have one, bro?
They do. They
just always have a corner,
bro. I also want to mention Jordan Castle or Castle safety. I think he's a true sophomore going into this season. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be a key. Then you have running back Montreal Johnson. He's going to be key player for Florida this game. Yeah, so like those are some key players for Florida.
All righty, let's get into the prediction time. I think last time I saw the spread, I think Miami was -1 dog, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, Miami?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because Florida was like a 1.5 or 2 point favorite in this game. Yeah,
so they're predicting Florida to win.
Yeah. Nussmeier is real deal. LSU. Oh yeah. LSU offensive line is crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really watched too much Nussmeier. Like,
yeah, I have to see him, but that's all I've been hearing all.
Yeah,
this Garrett Nussmeier dude is real deal. So it's crazy. That's one thing I give LSU, young. Their fan base was certain, like Harold Landry. You remember how much we were hearing about Harold Landry? You know what I'm saying? Like Harold Perkins. I do that shit all the time. You knew what the hell I meant. You knew what the hell I meant. Harold Perkins, bro. We heard so much about Harold Perkins. It's ridiculous. So LSU do a great job at that. So, all right, prediction time. Florida, like I said, is favorite by 1.5, I believe. Who you got winning this game?
I got Miami. I almost took Florida. While I work, I was flip flopping. I was like, Miami, Florida.
You got Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami. Florida, I prefer y'all to win though. Florida, I would prefer y'all to win.
Is it too early in the season to call this a must win for Florida?
I think it could be. But how tough their schedule is, you definitely don't need to pull like some upsets. If you would call this one an upset.
I definitely missed that. He threw for 396. Damn.
But yeah, they'll definitely need to beat some tough opponents like Miami. So okay. I would think that's a must win.
Bruh, Mertz loses, we will see Lagway sooner rather than later. Yeah, hey, I see Nino been saying the same thing. He think we'll see Lagway this season. I don't know.
I think you have to play bad. I would think.
Yeah, I don't think he play bad. I think he's that quintessential game manager, and sometimes coaches trust that a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going Miami for two reasons. One, I think my prediction on the over-unders for how many wins Florida have this season. And two, I think it'll be like a Cam Ward like coming out party. I think we're going to see him and Xavier Restrepo build a connection. Damian Martinez should certainly move the chains as well. So give me Miami. Let's move to this next game. And I think the next game for Mr. Ken is this USC LSU game. It's a lot. An awful lot to talk about here, Jalen. You, I, Nino, SC, Andy, everybody that I could think of, Boomer, thought that USC shouldn't be ranked in the top 25. Also, USC has been trying to get out of this game for quite a while now. I think as I started to look at the lineage of Lincoln Riley.
Hey, like Lincoln Riley, like he's scared of SEC still.
Like he's scared of the bump. Like I feel like when he found out but Oklahoma could possibly leave and they're looking for greener pastures and going to the SEC. I'm gonna go chill over here in the Pac-12. And then now that the Pac-12 disassembled because of George Clearcloth and a couple other reasons, but mainly George Clearcloth. Now he's ended up in a Big Ten. They ended up with this schedule. We opened up with Lincoln Riley. We're going to get back to USC. Let's talk LSU ball. So we know the production that they lost. Number one offense in all of college football the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, lost.
And they lost Mike Denbrock. He's now in the South Bend.
What, they lost 3 first-round draft picks?
Yeah. But like Desi Kent said, they got a phenomenal offensive line. Jalen, talk to me, one, about the key players for LSU, and two, like, what do you think the current like temperature is in the Big Easy right now? Because I feel like the hype is grand. Number 13 ranked team in the country. So talk to me about LSU.
Yeah, I mean, what you said, like, I feel like lots of LSU fans, lots of people in Baton Rouge I believe where LSU is, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, I feel like lots of them are like all we've been hearing is good things. It's really been about Nussmeier. It's really been about Nussmeier. I haven't heard a single thing about their receivers. I haven't heard a single thing about their defense.
Yeah, Kyron Lacey. Yeah, I've heard a couple of people talk about Kyron Lacey this year.
Like, I was just like, I was like, yeah, like Nussmeier is the main hype. But the way they talking, they feel so good about him that they feel good about the team overall. Like, they just are high on not only Nussmeier but this team. It's a really good feeling for them right now. When the season plays out, who knows? Because of course, that's why games are played on the field and not on paper.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. And I also want to ask Desi Kent. Hey, Desi, you're right. Nobody is talking about y'all running backs. I'm gonna actually put that up on the screen. Nobody is talking about y'all running backs. That's right. And it's kind of been like that for the last couple of seasons, if we're being honest. But I want to kind of have a candid discussion on Brian Kelly. Where do you feel like he's at? He's heading into year 3 and in his time down in Louisiana. How do you feel like the fan base is feeling about him? Do you feel like he's on target? Do you feel like he's a little bit behind target? How are you feeling about him, especially after the Orgeron era?
I don't know how the fans feel. I haven't really saw too many LSU fans complain about him. But maybe that's because I didn't do my due diligence and look to see in the past when the games were played.
I've seen mixed reviews. You remember when he had the fake country accent?
Yeah, and he do the recruiting thing. He was doing this. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like he's behind target.
Okay. Same question for you, Desi. If you're still in here, do you feel like Brian Kelly is on target or behind target?
I feel like the way the defense has played in his 2 seasons there is last year was terrible. Then you look at like the offense. The offense was good. The offense has been good, but I think this year will tell a lot. Especially now that I think the only 1,000-yard receiver on the roster is CJ Daniels.
That's a great point.
Yeah, he's going to be a key player for this team. Like, it's going to tell a lot. Yes, like CJ Daniels is going to be a key player. Who offensive guard Miles Frazier, one of their best offensive linemen, but they have a lot. Mason Taylor, he'll be a key tight end this season. Like this, Kyron Lacey, as mentioned earlier, it's going to be some key players in this game because, and I bring up CJ Daniels and Kyron Lacey just because, you look at what they lost last year, them two are going to be told to replace some of that or a lot of that production.
And that seems like they've been able to do that as of late. Like they're putting wide receivers in the league, and then they seem like they're able to get more wide receivers. So let's talk a little bit more about
Harold Perkins, by the way. Also, on how we also got.
So we seen LSU in this time slot at this game. It's a Sunday game, right?
Yes,
we've seen them at this game I believe it's 3 consecutive years. We've seen them. Was it last year against Florida State, and then the year before against Florida State, where Malik Neighbors was having the muffing issues on the return, and then last year it was a really good game up until like maybe midway part of the third quarter, and then Florida State began to pull away. What are your expectations? I feel like they've been here. I think it's a couple of other Sunday games typically, but they're typically like, like FCS games. Maybe get a first SEC championship game.
Who said that?
First season SEC championship game. Come on, man. So
I mean, it was good, but I just feel like the defense was
Yeah,
lackluster.
yeah,
Also
yeah.
that season, it was good. I listen. I knew Georgia was going to work.
Yeah,
Going into the game.
Yeah, it was going to be hard for
And
anybody to beat Georgia this year.
y'all honestly lucky Pete Golding was defensive coordinator for Alabama because Alabama would have beat y'all. If not, I'm probably lucky.
Here goes the Pete Golden joke. So let's talk about SC. How you feeling about SC USC this year? What's the current temperature out there in Southern California?
I don't know that current temperature either. Why? Because I don't know what to. 1 year Lincoln Riley looks good. USC looks good. The other year they look eh. They look
you know what's weird to me?
What?
You can continue and then I'll tell you what's weird to me.
But the problem is that Lincoln Riley's defense has always been terrible. It always been terrible, and it still is terrible. So it's like the past Oklahoma was terrible. USC was terrible. So it's like I don't know how to feel going into this season about this defense. They hired a defense coordinator that I trust.
Yeah, Talon for sure.
Yeah, like I trust Deanna Talon. But do I trust Lincoln Riley? Do I trust the players on defense to come in and make those plays that they need? I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
So, when I heard USC was going to the Big Ten, my instant thought was, okay, you got a coach that likes to put up points, that has this sexy offense. Can they bring their lunch pill to work and win ugly games, right? So we seen how bad the defense was last year, but then something happened on College Game Day the other day, and it left me pondering. And I don't like this. It's the reason why the only sports content I watch during the season is ours, because I never want to steal anybody else's take. That's why. Like unless I just done a show, then I'll watch other shows. Of course, there's a lot of people I like out there, but Nick Saban said something so profound. He said, "Watch out for USC this year," and he didn't say it not once. He said it like 2 or 3 times during College Game Day this past week. Why do you believe he's saying that, bro? Like, because
he don't know ball. Hey,
that's crazy.
Some other subjects. That subject I don't.
Yep, the last 2 seasons, LSU has had the nation's top offense, but that was with Mike Denbrock at offensive coordinator. He's himself been now. How do you feel like the offense will change, or do you think it'll pretty much be similar to what you guys were able to do, like the production y'all was able to put out these last few years? But yeah, so okay, so
I don't know why he said that.
I think it's harder to be on this side of the screen versus him being on the sidelines and being able, because people remember your takes and people will try to dunk on you for having a bad take. It's going to happen, bro. I got dunked on early on, bro. I was a nobody, bro. I got dunked on early on and doing this, like after R1P and I first started CFB Nation. I'll tell you off screen. I can't tell you now.
I could have got dunked on so many times last season.
Right, yeah.
My Jalen Milroe stuff, my Alabama Dynasty stuff.
Do people bookmark your takes?
I don't think so.
Or do you bookmark people takes?
Nah. I'm more so just in the steez and be like, oh yeah, look at this clown. I'm like, LOL, bro don't know this.
bro don't know ball.
I'll be like it'd be the Florida State game happened. Steve sent me something that was like, some people were shocked, but Steve sent me something like, well, we were talking all offseason about how like FSU is not gonna be as good as they were last season. I was like, yeah,
for sure.
Like, I don't know why people were doing that.
And you adding the fact that Mike Norvell was calling plays this past weekend. It's just not good. So I forgot what I saw that the spread was for this game, but I have a feeling I know who you going. But I want to know if you how you feeling.
I'm going LSU.
About the spread. You going LSU by a lot, by landslide?
I wouldn't say by landslide. I would say by 14 plus. 14 to 17 points.
So yeah, they have LSU as 4.5 favorite. Do you feel like that's they kind of don't know the temperature of both of these teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's we don't know how good LSU's offense is going to be this season. We don't know how USC's offense or defense is going to look, and I feel like that's just like a little safe one.
Right. I feel like LSU has the experience playing in this slot. So not only am I going to take LSU, I'm also take LSU on the spread. But do you think it could end up in a shootout?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's Lincoln Riley.
Right. Two offenses that are known to have like that gunslinging mentality. I could certainly see a world where this is either A, a blowout and LSU just come in there and stomp a mile hole in them, or B, hey, we just got a back and forth affair, and then LSU should have the experience going into this because they've played so many of these Sunday games. So let's get into our last game of the evening. The time is now 7:04 Eastern Standard Time. We have football coming up soon. I can't wait to watch.
In about less than like 56 minutes.
Yeah, less than 56 minutes. I want to see that Colorado. And you got any parlays, man?
Hey, man, I don't bet my money.
He said I don't bet no money. So we just talked about Florida State in a previous segment. I'm actually getting rid of my notes because we don't talk.
I be hating when people do people ask you about bets? You like, bro, like I don't know what's gonna happen, and then they come up to you after the bet, be like, bro, you told me this.
Man, you sold me, bro. Like
I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. I just watch it.
At the end of the day, is luck. But I was cranking over the summer though. I was cranking over the summer. I hit for almost 2K on bets this summer. So
yeah, you also hit on some of the Celtics.
Hey, I always hit on the Celtics. So let's talk about Florida State. So I was looking at some film. This guy did a phenomenal job because he was talking about like concepts, and he was talking about some of the play calling for DJU because a lot of people was blaming DJU for the loss. So what did one comment we both seen? Oh, he's not smart enough.
Yeah,
he can't make the reads. He can't make the throws. Like I don't know why we went out there and got him. But there was this one particular play, right? They ran a scissors concept. You've seen me talk about the scissors concept when I was doing a preview for Madden. So it was like a flood, but it was still a scissors because the outside receiver just didn't run a vertical. He ran a post.
Yeah.
And the slot receiver ran a flat, and the tight end was supposed to run a corner. It took the tight end forever to get to the corner, bro. Like because the curl flat defender, he had to make a business decision. Yeah,
the coaching has to know. Hey, like, listen, this player is a better receiving or tight end.
A tight end. Let's get him in, right?
Yeah.
So the curl flat defender, they caught him in cover 3. The curl flat defender did what he saw the curl flat. Guess what he did? He stayed on the curl flat. That corner route would have been wide open, but the tight end is like, it felt like slow motion, bro. I'm going to send you the play. I wish I had the clip here so everybody who's watching this right now could see it. I'm just like, I blame that on DJU. He's waiting on the read. He literally makes the read, and he's waiting on this tight end to get out. And the tight end is literally like, just could not get on out. And he ended up getting sacked on that play, bro. And then I started to see more plays. I feel like the play calling was safe in the beginning.
It was. I mean, we saw the stat. It was like 12-14 for negative 0.1 yards for air or in the air.
Hey, much appreciated, Desicant. Shout out to you, man. Glad you was able to stop in and talk college ball with us. Come see us, man. We here every Monday and Thursday. Much appreciated, bro. Much love. I'll continue, Jalen. My bad.
Oh, no. That's all I had to say. Like, we seen that stat, that graphic of the negative 0.1 yards in the air or whatever.
Yeah. Some of them stats is just misleading. I like analytics as much as the next person. But like I like some of these analytical stats, bro. Like to me, there's just certain stats I care more about analytical stats than I care about other ones. So could he probably made more plays that game? Did he not look like he had that pop that he had at Clemson at times where he would take off and run? He didn't. But I think what Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins, who wasn't there, by the way, wanted to do was get him comfortable, get him easy throws, get that completion percentage up, and that didn't happen. So I said all of this to say this.
Why does getting completion percentage matter? Like, do you think that's like a confidence boost when the quarterback sees it or something?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay,
I think it is.
Because I was wondering, I don't know why it matters. Because if I'm a quarterback, if I feel like I play good, I play good.
I think it matters more in college football than it does in the NFL. because you'll see like that the mid 60s or Bo Nix high 70s, or Jason Campbell when he was at Auburn, he was somewhere around 70%, 71%. Yeah, it is. So I think it's important, especially when you've seen over his career, like he's been a sub mid 50% completion percentage. So yeah, you definitely want to get that up. You want to move the chains. I felt like he had one really good drive when he got both of the fourth down passes he had to make in clutch situations to tie up the game. I just feel like everybody want to blame him, but I there's a lot of good content creators out here. I'm going to shout this guy out now, and I don't really do a lot of shout outs. I just found him. His name is Snaps. He's the one that did the video that I saw, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Because he was talking football. He's talking X's and O's. So we had the game in Tallahassee. Florida State 0-1 of the season. We see them losing Dublin, Ireland last week. We seen them play BC up in Chestnut Hill in Alumni Stadium last year. And honestly, and this is what Jordan Travis wasn't 100% healthy, but Florida State Boston College truly had an opportunity to win.
Yeah.
But it was so many penalties.
This was that weird week 3.
Yeah, it was. It was that weird week 3.
Alabama lost to USF. Yeah, it was that weird week 3.
It was that weird.
Missouri made like a 60-yard field goal for the win.
Yes, and bro got a boot on NCAA 20. I'm sorry, college football 25. He got a boot. So let's talk more about Florida State. What do you feel like they can improve on this past week? I think some of it is play calling. I think some of it is situational football. And I always go
run D.
And this is why this is why I don't like head coaches calling plays. Alex Golesh, I talk about this play all the time.
Alex Golesh or Alex Atkins?
Alex Golesh.
Okay.
And I'll get to Alex Atkins in a second. But Alex Golesh is a game against Tennessee. They was running a post-will concept, right? But they had Jalen Hyatt running the post. Brew McCoy was on the inside. He was going to be running the wheel. Alex Atkins saw something that the defense did. He put Jalen Hyatt in the slot to run the wheel, put Brew McCoy on the outside to run a post, and guess who was naked and just scored a touchdown? That's the identifiers. That's knowing your personnel. And he was able to get a touchdown out of it. We go back to that play like we were just talking about with the scissors concept and that tight end that was taking forever to run the damn corner route. Like I think he even got redirected on his route, bro, coming off from the tight end. I think I redirected like he was running. Then he got like pushed a little bit. He was supposed to get outside to the corner and he couldn't. So hey, my guy D now, man. Shout out to my guy D now, man. What's happening, bro? So yeah, it was just so much. So like I said, I feel like if Alex Atkins was there, it's just those little nuances of play calling because Mike Norvell has to pay attention to the totality. He has to stay on top of the refs. You got to make sure defense is doing what they're supposed to do. As a head coach, you're just supposed to stay on top of everything versus a coordinator. While it's defense, you don't give a damn about defense. You may look up, hey, what down is it? But you're looking at, screenshots from the last drive and Gator boy, great question. Do you think Florida has a playoff opportunity?
No.
The Florida Gators? You're a Gator fan. If Florida Gators are able to win 8 games with that brutal schedule, and I don't think a 4-loss team should make it into the college football playoff, but with the toughest schedule I've seen in the last 5 years, I would say consideration. If they find a way to go 9-3, I don't care who's in consideration. They should make the playoffs if they're able to do that. Do they have the talent on that team? Yes. Billy Napier has done a great job since he's been in Gainesville. Huh?
Do they?
Do they what?
Do they really have the talent?
Do they have a talented roster? Yes.
They do, but do they have the talent? Do they have the talent to make the playoff compared to other teams?
Okay, let's swap their schedule. Let's swap their schedule with like who's a team with a subpar schedule. Let's swap their schedule with like a Syracuse schedule. We'd be looking at it differently, but because they're in a big bad SEC, because they got the toughest schedule in all of college football, the answer is no. But what I'm saying is, do they have the talent? Has Billy Napier done a great job with recruiting? Has Billy Napier made some mistakes since his time there? Absolutely. But I don't think they'll make the playoff. I don't. And this might be Billy Napier last year. Same. They'd have to win out that murderous stretch. If they win 8 games, he's coach of the year. And if I got anything to say about it, he's coach of the year. Let's talk about BC. How you feeling about BC this year, man? We see Jeff Hafley went to the NFL. I honestly can't blame Jeff Hafley for going to the NFL. I think his situation is different from Chip Kelly's situation. You know how Chip Kelly was just looking for a way out. Like, he in my opinion, he stopped recruiting. In my opinion, he wanted to go to the NFL. He was able to find a home in Columbus as an offensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes. But I feel like with Hafley, they was ready to fire that man in the beginning of October. Like October 1st, 2023, Jeff Hafley's job was on the line. And then they was able to pull it together and win a string of games. And I think he was just like deuces. He said, I want to go to a job that's more about coaching than it is politics. Tommy Sleep. Hey, yes, Castellanos. Castellanos is must-see TV. I was talking about him earlier at work today. But talk to me about BC.
Yeah, I like BC. They got Castellanos is good.
Mm-hmm.
He has some turnover problems, but I think I don't remember how you answered my don't during media days.
No, he did have turnover problems. You actually talked to him during media days. How did he approach it?
I don't remember.
And it's crazy because I seen a video.
Yeah, and that's one of the only ones I don't like. I remember I remember Jeff Brom said to me. I remember Payton and all that.
You talk to Richie Clark. You talk to a lot of people, but I feel like Bill O'Brien's kind of no nonsense. I feel like Jeff Hafley is probably more of a player's coach.
Yeah.
While Bill O'Brien is probably like, you have a job to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is with him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not just him. Like Castellano, like they got Kaya. Oh, I already know I'm gonna butcher his name. Kaya.
You talking about the running back?
Yes.
Lord, I know who you talking about. Robichaud.
Yeah. He's back. Had close to 800 yards last season.
And they got Trayshawn Ward, bro.
Yeah. They returning like their center, Drew Kendall. I believe he started 22 out of like the 24 games or something like that. Like crazy number in the past 2 seasons. Offensive tackle is back. The offensive guard is back. So the offensive line like really looks good. I would say I like this team. Don't know if they're bowl eligible by the end of the season, but I like this team.
How you feel about that receiver core? Lewis Bond, Jerron Bradley.
It's solid.
Yeah. You know I like Jerron Bradley, man. He really disappointed me at Texas Tech last year. I'm not going to lie.
It's solid. But I think, it'll be all up to Castellanos for he's going to be the engine that, makes the train go. So
I agree. If they can minimize the mental mistakes,
yes,
like they had, they will beat themselves with a lot of penalties last year.
Didn't it while for to decide if Castellanos was like the starter or not, right? Or am I mistaken? Or was he starter all season? Because I didn't watch.
No. It was somebody else that started last year. It was like some back and forth. I don't know if he started, then got pulled, and then he was starting again. Because they struggled in a game against like Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois. I want to say they might have lost to Northern Illinois last year. Yeah, so it was a couple games. I remember texting back and forth with Nino. And make sure you guys are following and subscribe to the CFB Nation. We are going to be here, there, and everywhere.
I'm really going to do this every day, every week. So
yeah, dude, we're going to be at so many stops. It's going to be crazy. So make sure y'all locked in. We seen Andy go live from the Canyon Corner and IMG game last Thursday, which was phenomenal. I think they got an away game this week, but I think next week he'll be going live again on a Thursday. We might be going to go to a high school football game tomorrow. I got to get Moon to make sure he seals the deal for that for me tomorrow. But
wait, so is it in Virginia?
Yeah. So I might be going to a game. There's a kid that plays corner for Westmoreland that I want to check out. He's a legit 6'3". I seen him play 7-on-7 this year. He's got a couple interests. I'm not sure how many offers he got, but he's pretty good. Okay. But yeah, so who you like in this game? Does Florida State go 0-2?
Run D scares me for Florida State.
Oh Oh, we seen them get beat in the trenches last week.
Yeah. Run D scares me, Florida State. Offensive line returning for their offense. It was a good amount. Three or four offensive linemen returning for Boston College. Castellanos returning for Boston College. Kai is returning for Boston College. I'm gonna go with the safe pick and bet Florida State.
You going with the safe pick and bet in Florida State?
You know, I haven't made a risky. No, I'm just gonna Boston College, just make a risky pick. Why not?
Well, the spread is 16.5. I think I understand our friends out west thinking. They're like, you know, they kind of got embarrassed on national television last week. They're going to want to come out.
Expect some adjustment. You know, give me Florida State because I expect some adjustments.
You expect some adjustments. Like I said last week, and I didn't trust my heart because I've been feeling great about Georgia Tech this upcoming season. Florida State doesn't cover. They're just not going to cover because we've seen them against teams last year that you just expect them to kind of beat the crap of, and they let them hanging around. So I don't think Florida State a cover. I think they'll be. I'll go BC here. No, I'm gonna go Florida State. Florida State don't cover, but I think they'll be close to covering. I'm betting with BC on the spread, but I think Florida State will find a way to win this game.
Yeah, I would bet BC on the spread as well.
I've been sub for a month, but hey, Gator Boy, we appreciate you, bro. A lot of we have so many subscribers, and we have a good balance of people who watch the show. Because I know you guys in YouTube probably don't see how many people watch the show because we also go live on Twitter, and we this show I think and Overreaction always have a good amount of people in here watching it. We truly appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody who came in here and showed some love. Jalen, go ahead, do your shout outs, man. I'll take us home because we got college football in 40 minutes, my dog.
Yeah, fries without salt is better than fries with salt. I don't know if that's a hot take, but it's true.
You said fries without salt.
Yeah, it's better than fries with salt.
So is gin better without the juice? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never had it, so I don't know.
Is peanut butter better without the jelly, bro? Like, no. You know what I'm saying?
But that's different. The fries can operate without salt, and they taste better without salt.
No seasoning, like no garlic powder, no Old Bay seasoning.
Regular fries is better without salt than they are with salt.
Regular fries are better without salt.
Yeah,
that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell them.
Also, curly fries are disgusting.
Watch your mouth.
They are. They're terrible.
Go ahead, tell them who the prototype quarterback, bro.
Oh, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, the prototype quarterback for Eric. He should be the prototype quarterback for everybody. What else? Oh, double cheeseburgers are nasty. Just eat a regular cheeseburger. Waffle fries are. Actually, they're not good unless they're from Chick-fil-A.
I'm about to say, if they're from Chick-fil-A and they are fresh and they're salted. Hey, bro, so do you eat Chipotle, bro?
Yeah.
Do you like the chips from Chipotle?
No.
Because they got salt on them?
No, I like salt. I just don't like chips.
Hey, you did tell me that. You told me that you don't like chips, man. Go ahead and do your shout out so we can get out of here, bro.
Yes. I don't know. Shout out to you, Nation. Shout out to KT. Shout out to college football.
Shout out to college football. Big shout out to college football.
Shout out, keep going. Y'all defense still gonna look terrible.
I have Ole Miss winning the national championship this year, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. I know Jalen don't care at all. Actually, we have college football on now. NC State is actually on now. So, as I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive and advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, hang out with the good guys, man. Y'all take care. 1.